Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we'll discuss about the sexual reproduction in case of human beings, and especially we'll discuss about the female reproductive system. See, as we have discussed last class, reproduction is a physiological process or biological process by which the living organisms they bring the next generation. And as human beings are multicellular and complex organisms, so sexual reproduction is seen in case of us, and humans are dioecious, male and females exist with respective male and female reproductive systems. Okay, so what are the parts of female reproductive system, what are the parts and their functions, and how these functions of the female reproductive system these are regulated by different types of hormones. Let's have a look. See here, human reproduction, female reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts, uterus, vagina and vulva. Okay, so pair of ovaries. As I have also told you that the testes and ovaries, these are the gonads or the primary sex organs in which the gametes are produced. Okay, and in case of females, ovaries are the gonads. Gonads means the primary sex organs where ovum or ova are produced. Okay, so what is about the shape of ovary, where these ovaries are present? See here, in case of females, these ovaries which are present, they are present towards the dorsal wall of the abdominal cavity, each on either side of the vertebral column. Okay, and the ovaries are attached to the dorsal wall of lower abdomen by an ovarian ligament called mesovarium. Okay, and each ovary is very small in shape, size. Okay, and it is almond shaped structure. The length of each ovary is about 1.5 to 3 centimeter, and it is about 8 mm in thickness. So very small structure inside which each month a single ovum is produced. Okay, and certain times more than one ova are also produced, resulting into multiple offsprings. Okay, so what is the internal structure of the ovary? How the ovaries they produce the ovum? Let's have a look about the TS of ovary. There are a pair of ovaries, and each ovary it produces an ovum alternatively, means each month a single ovary produces the ovum, and next month the another ovary it will produce the ovum. So alternatively out of these two ovaries they produce the ovum. Okay, and see TS of ovary, it shows this structure as I have drawn here. This is the transverse section of the ovary, means ovary if it is transversely dissected, then this type of structures, it is all these structures are seen inside it. See here, the outermost layer of ovary, it is covered by a connective tissue mass called tunica albuginea, and next to that a layer is present called cortex, and the inner mass of ovary is called medulla. Cortex contains the germinal epithelial cells, and the germinal epithelial cells they undergo regular mitotic division producing the follicular cells. We will discuss in a very details. See, and the medulla it contains the blood vessels and the nerves. Let's say about the primary follicles. What are these primary follicles? The germinal epithelial cells of ovary each month they undergo repeated mitotic division producing a ball of cells, and this ball of cells they form the primary follicle. This primary follicle it contains large number of cells. Out of that a cell towards the center behaves as oogonium, and many more cells are next stage many more cells are also formed inside it, and it changes into secondary follicle. It is having a single central cell which is larger in size, and that cell it acts as oogonium. Oogonium means the ovum mother cell. See here, next what happens, this secondary follicle it changes into tertiary follicle. Tertiary follicles are mature Graafian follicles. Graafian follicles they have many more number of cells, and the oogonium it enlarges in size, it accumulates nutritive material, and it becomes ready for the meiosis. Okay, so what happens inside the Graafian follicle? What is the structure of the Graafian follicle? It is having a theca externa, it is the membrane. Inside a thin membrane is present, theca interna, and it is having a fluid filled cavity called antrum, and this fluid it contains nutritive materials which supplies nutrition to the primary oocyte. What exactly is the primary oocyte? How it differs from the oogonium? See, oogonium as I have told you it is the ovum mother cell, and this oogonium it enlarges in size, becomes ready, and is called primary oocyte. It undergoes meiosis 1, then meiosis 2 occurs, and ovum is produced. So what happens? This enlarged primary oocyte it undergoes meiosis 1. and it produces two unequal cells, one larger secondary oocyte and a smaller polar body. Okay, so the secondary oocyte, it undergoes second meiosis, means meiosis 2, to produce another larger cell, that is ovum, and second polar body. First polar body, then second polar body. In case of vertebrates, most of the vertebrates, the first polar body which is produced along with the secondary oocyte, it also divides to form the secondary polar bodies. But in case of human beings, only the primary oocyte divides to form the secondary oocyte and first polar body. Then the second polar body undergoes meiosis 2 and the first polar body degenerates. Because in our case, the secondary oocyte itself, without completing the meiosis 2, it is released into oviduct from ovary. Okay, so in oviduct, when sperm reaches near the secondary oocyte, it undergoes the second meiosis or meiosis 2 to form the enlarged cell, that is ovum, and a second polar body which degenerates. Okay, so see here, this is the Graafian follicle having the primary oocyte. Then the primary oocyte undergoes meiosis 1 to produce the secondary oocyte. So here, see, this is the structural change. Continuously I have given the arrow marks. These are the structural changes. And see this graph in the Graafian follicle, what happens next? This primary oocyte, when it undergoes meiosis 1, producing the secondary oocyte. Now the secondary oocyte or the ovum. In case of human beings, the secondary oocyte is released. Neither in other vertebrates, ovum is released, completing the total meiosis. Okay, so the secondary oocyte, it is released from the ovary into the oviduct. And the release of secondary oocyte or ovum, this process is called ovulation. Okay, and when the ovum or the secondary oocyte, it is released out from the ovary, rest of the ovarian follicles, they change into a yellow mass. This yellow mass acts as a gland. This yellow mass is called corpus luteum and it produces the hormone progesterone. Progesterone is the hormone which thickens the uterine endometrium. Uterus is the chamber inside which the baby grows after fertilization. The baby means the embryo, it attaches to the wall of uterus. Okay, and so that the wall of uterus should be very much thick to bear the weight of the embryo. And the inner wall of uterus, it is thickened by the progesterone hormone only. And the progesterone hormone, it is produced by corpus luteum. Means after ovulation, this gland which acts as a gland, this total follicles now they act as a yellow mass of gland, and this gland is called corpus luteum, which produces the hormone progesterone. If fertilization occurs, this corpus luteum, it remains as usual, and if the ovum is not fertilized, then this corpus luteum, it changes into corpus albicans. Corpus albicans, it becomes a scare in the ovary, and each month these corpus albicans are formed if fertilization doesn't occur. Okay, so these are all the changes of the primary follicle into secondary follicle, then tertiary follicle and Graafian follicle. Then ovulation occurs, then corpus luteum is formed, and corpus luteum, it degenerates to form the corpus albicans. Okay, so this is all about the follicular development inside the ovary. Means each month a single ovum is produced in case of human beings, and rarely there may be two ova, means there may be two ova resulting into what? Bizygotic twins. Okay, so this is about the TSF structure of ovary. And another thing I will tell you, the connective mass present inside the ovary is called stroma. Okay, so this is the TSF ovary. Inside ovary, how follicular development occurs, which we have discussed. Then come to the pair of oviducts. See, come to this diagram. Here I have indicated everything in a very detail. See here, this is the complete female reproductive system. The female reproductive system, as I have told you, that it contains a pair of ovaries. These are the pair of ovaries. Then a pair of oviducts. These are the pair of oviducts which arise from nearby the ovary and move upwards. These two oviducts, they merge to form the uterus. Uterus is the baby growing chamber. Okay, and this uterus, it opens into cervix. Cervix opens into vagina, and vagina opens into vulva. So all these are the structures of female reproductive system. See what happens. We will discuss next about the oviducts. We have discussed in detail about the ovaries. Now come to the oviducts. Oviducts are elongated tube-like structures which are about 12 cm in length. These oviducts are also known as fallopian tubes, and each oviduct, it is having three parts. The proximal part of the oviduct is funnel shaped. It is funnel shaped, and this proximal part is called infundibulum, which opens into another part called ampulla, and ampulla opens into the third part called isthmus. So infundibulum, ampulla and isthmus, these are the three parts of oviduct or fallopian tube. And isthmus, both the sides of isthmus of the fallopian tube, they open into uterus. This total chamber, this is a pear-shaped structure, it is called uterus. Okay, so come to the next structure, it is uterus. Uterus is a pear-shaped structure which is present in the pelvic cavity. The uterus, it contains also three parts. The upper part of uterus is called fundus, and the middle part where the embryo grows, it is called corpus of uterus, and the third part is called cervix. So it is having fundus, corpus and cervix, three parts. Then we'll discuss about the lining, means the wall of uterus. The wall of uterus is made up of three membranes. See here, we have discussed about the parts of uterus. Uterus is about 7.5 cm length and 5 cm width in normal condition. Later on it enlarges when pregnancy occurs. And the linings of uterus, see here, the innermost lining of uterus is called endometrium. Innermost lining where the embryo attaches after fertilization. The innermost lining, endometrium, it is highly vascular and it provides space for the attachment of the embryo, that is implantation occurs here. Then the middle layer is called myometrium, which is muscular, and the outer layer is called perimetrium. Okay, so three layers are there in the wall of uterus. Then uterus, the third part of uterus, it is called cervix. Cervix opens into vagina, and vagina is the copulatory chamber. This vagina, it is about 10 cm in length in case of adult females, and vagina is the copulatory chamber which opens into vulva. Vulva is the last part. See here, we have discussed about uterus, then vagina and vulva. Now vulva is the outermost genitalia of the females, and the vulva contains vaginal opening surrounded by labia majora, labia minora and clitoris, and it contains Bartholin's glands. See here, this vulva, it is the outermost genitalia in case of females, and it is made up of labia majora, labia minora, clitoris, Bartholin's glands, and vulva contains vaginal opening also. Then another thing to tell you, vagina in case of girls, it contains a membrane called hymen, okay, which can be burst due to cycling, due to heavy exercise also. So hymen is a very thin membrane which covers the vaginal wall, and the vaginal opening is there in the vulva section. Okay, so this is all about the female reproductive structure. Now come to the structure in details. Have a look about the diagram. I will tell you about the different parts here. See here, again, these are the pair of ovaries, and each of the ovary, they produce the ovum, alternatively the month-wise, and the ovum is collected by the infundibulum. Infundibulum is the proximal part of oviduct. This infundibulum, it contains fimbriae. Fimbriae are the finger-like projections, and in the center of the fimbriae, there is a pore present called ostium. This ostium, it collects the ovum from the ovary during ovulation. Then the ovum, it moves through the ampulla and it remains in the ampullary isthmic junction. And the sperms, they enter through vagina and they reach the uterus, and in the ampullary isthmic junction of the oviduct only fertilization occurs. So this is all about the female reproductive system structures. Okay, and see here, uterus, it is also having three parts. Then oviduct, it is also having three parts, and the three linings of uterus also I have discussed, and tears of ovary, how the follicular development occurs month-wise, I have also told you. And another thing, if the fertilization doesn't occur, then corpus luteum, it changes into corpus albicans, and the ovum along with the unfertilized egg or ovum along with the uterine lining, it discharges as menstrual cycle, okay, or menstruation each month. So this is all about the female reproductive system. And ask me if you have any doubt. Subscribe my channel and share my channel for the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.